Hi guys, Louis at Defending Elvis. Got me hoodie on that Tony sent me. She sent me two actually. This one is a grey one. Look, thanks Tony, you're the best. So sunny in the UK. It's actually sunny today. It's unusual. So my book came. My book came softly as I leave you. Softly as I leave you. So I thought, let's just look at the book, play a little bit of a video. Uh, I understand that most of you, a lot of the true Elvis fans will never buy this book. They refuse to buy it, just on the grounds of principle. Yeah, so I have to buy it because um, I have to go through it slowly. I'm only going to do one chapter at a time. I'm not going to rush it. YouTube won't allow me to read that book. I have to do it. I have to just read a couple of lines and talk about it. Yeah. So I haven't even read the first chapter yet, but I know a lot about it already because I've had dozens of things sent to me. So let me just press this play on it a minute for you on this. And then we're going to come back and we're going to just show you the book, maybe show some pictures, stuff like that. Here goes.
Beer, please.
It's Sunday morning on CBS.
Hello, Bobby.
And here again is Jane Pauley.
Since the start of her teenage romance with Elvis more than 60 years ago, Priscilla Presley has spent most of her life in the public eye. This morning, she's looking back at those tumultuous decades. Once again, here's Lee Cowan.
Elvis Presley weds Priscilla Ann Beaulieu.
He was a truly...
So, that is, you see this bit here where it shows them on the day of the wedding. That went round the world, didn't it? It went round the world. Let me just make sure you can see what I can see. Good. Right. So that image went round the world. Went round the world. That is what brainwashed the world. I've always said this. Of course, many years later, 1985, Priscilla does the memoir, the biopic, whatever you want to call it. A fake book, a fake fairy tale. This romance wasn't what people thought it was. Now we, as the public around the world in every country, completely fell in love with that, what I'm looking at now. Look at the way she's looking into Elvis's eyes. Elvis is looking into her eyes. Now, how do we break away from that? Because the truth is, there had been a lot of heartache. The story we've been told isn't straightforward. We were told a chance meeting. Cary Grant approaches Priscilla. Do you want to meet Elvis? Do you know who Elvis is? We've all heard the storyline. Priscilla realized in 1985 that she could recreate history. This is quite a big deal, guys. This is brainwashing the masses in their millions, in their tens of millions. Now, there have been some wrongdoing on both Elvis and Priscilla. Both of them made serious mistakes, both unfaithful. Now, you have to try and understand, Elvis came from nowhere. Tupelo, grows up in Tupelo, a Christian man, a good-hearted, kind, religious man. Grew up singing gospel. A good-hearted boy. Travels to Memphis with his parents. We all know the story. He goes into some studio, some records, Memphis studios, whatever you want to call it. And overnight stardom. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but we know it. Rags to riches. Elvis shoots to fame, makes a movie or two. And then is drafted. Yeah? I might not get all my facts right, but you know what I mean. goes and does his basic training. Unfortunately, he loses his beautiful mother, who died way too young, only 46 years old, from serious health complications. It actually gives you a bit of a pre-warning that health-wise something isn't quite right within the Presleys, yeah? Because 46, way too young to die. We know Elvis dies at 42. He has many health complications, which is why he needed so much prescription medication, especially as he got into his late 30s, early 40s. It's a complicated story, but he was very sick. He needed his medication, in a lot of pain, couldn't sleep, many health problems. Yeah, we don't have time to go into it. Then suddenly, out of the blue, and let me just shut the door a minute. 1 second. 1 second. Then suddenly, out of the blue, Elvis finds himself in Bad Newheim. Yeah, I forgot to shut this door because I can hear you shout. So suddenly, Elvis is doing his duty for his country in Bad Newheim. Elvis is living as a single man, but he is with Anita Wood. There's some beautiful love stories. Beautiful love stories of Elvis and Anita. That book is amazing. Once Upon a Time, Elvis and Anita. There's love letters in there, everything. It's great. It's a really good read. Elvis wasn't ready to settle down. Him and Anita had a very special relationship. They were truly, deeply in love. Elvis was too young to settle down. He was enjoying the fruits of life. There were other girls. Now, Priscilla wants us to believe that the moment Elvis meets her in Bad Newheim, when she is introduced to him, I personally believe that Priscilla approached Cary Grant and asked him to introduce her to Elvis, not the other way around. But that's just my belief. Look up Child Bride, look up the book Child Bride. There's a different version of events, I think closer to the truth. I don't think Priscilla was as innocent as everyone thinks. Obviously, the Priscilla fans, they are hanging on every word of Priscilla. They believe every single word she says. They see her as a poor victim that suffered at the hands of Elvis. Completely brainwashed, tricked, spoon-fed lies for decades, for 50 years. Nothing you say to them will change their mind. You're called a hater if you're trying to expose the truth of what truly went on between Elvis and Priscilla. Not the fairy tale, the reality. Eventually, Elvis did like Priscilla, there's no doubt about it. Elvis did like her. But the reality is, Elvis very quickly, after only knowing her for months, went to Germany. There was no sex, no relationship. He remembered that girl. Somehow they do stay in touch. There's a 2-year and 3-month gap around that time where Elvis doesn't really see her, hardly contacts her. He obviously liked her, guys. That's somehow, we don't know what went on. Somehow Elvis agrees for Priscilla to come over to Graceland. You know, he's done the Frank Sinatra special. He's filmed GI Blues. He's still seeing Anita Wood. He's seeing other women as well. Elvis wasn't ready to settle down. I will always say that. He wasn't ready to be a father either. Yeah. Nor was Priscilla. Priscilla wasn't ready to settle down. Priscilla liked the boys. People don't like me to say this. Priscilla liked the boys. It wasn't just Elvis. Eventually, she visits a few times. Eventually, it's agreed if Elvis makes sure she gets her education, that she can come and stay at Gracelands with Dee and Vernon behind Gracelands. And this is really the beginning of the romance. Yeah. Now, there's more to it. Yeah. Stuff went on behind the scenes with the dad. Just, it wasn't straightforward. We don't really know the actual reason why Elvis said, right, okay, you can come and stay at Gracelands. It's complicated. Okay? I don't think we'll ever know. Now, Elvis carried on living as a single man. Must have been very tough on Priscilla to live. 1963, 4, 5, must have been quite tough years for Priscilla. Elvis lived life as if he was single. We know about well-known relationships like Anne Margaret, but it's rumoured that Priscilla was also having relationships. We don't know, do we, guys? Priscilla tries to make out like she was a prisoner in a gilded cage. It's not true. She had a car. She could do whatever she wanted. Friends and family could visit. The Memphis Mafia were all around with their wives. Priscilla tries to make out as if she was just stuck with 6 guys all the time. No women around. It's not true. Even Donna Presley recently has done a video saying, no, it's not true. There was some very strong women around Gracelands. Yeah, it wasn't just the guys. The guys had girlfriends. You obviously had Minnie May, Aunt Delta, and other people, you know, Patsy Presley, of course, Donna Presley, and other people. Gracelands was a hive of busyness. It was happening at Gracelands. Of course, it came more alive when Elvis was home. Elvis would go away and through the 60s making his movies, sometimes 2 or 3 movies a year. Elvis was a workaholic, had signed these very important contracts. Elvis honored his contracts. Yeah. Yes, Elvis did get fed up with making the movies eventually, but at first Elvis loved it. He loved making the movies. Him and the boys, him and the guys had the time of their lives. Even the guys started doing small bit parts in the movies, didn't they? Now, we don't know exactly what happened. Was Priscilla pregnant? Some say she was, some say she wasn't. She was nearly 22. She likes to say that she lost her virginity to Elvis on the night of the wedding. It's not true. Lisa has made it very clear to us. Elvis and Priscilla have been having sex for a few years. So this fake fairy tale that Priscilla lost her virginity on the night of the wedding and this perfect, immaculate conception type baby was born, Lisa Marie, in this fake fairy tale. No. Yes, they have a baby. They weren't ready to have a baby. They weren't ready to get married. Yeah. The whole thing was a rush job. So the romance was really destined to go wrong. Destined to go wrong. Both were being unfaithful. Priscilla's unfaithful very quickly after Lisa Marie's born. And which is heartbreaking, isn't it? You know, a newborn baby, new home, new husband. They'd only been married for around a year. They're already being unfaithful. Elvis, because Priscilla had been unfaithful, Elvis went on to be unfaithful as well. In fact, the first woman that Elvis was unfaithful with, I think Susan Henning, after Priscilla, had a baby. So that throws away this ridiculous thing where Elvis wouldn't sleep with a woman that had a child. So this is the fake fairy tale. They have a fake marriage for a couple of years. Come on, guys. All of what I'm telling you, you've heard me say many times. So Priscilla has played a game. She's played a game. Yeah, these 2 books. The game is, poor me, I'm the victim. Look what I went through. I was a prisoner. I was so unhappy. I had to find myself. I truly believe Priscilla very quickly realized that she wanted to be Elvis. She was jealous of Elvis. She envied him. She craved the stardom, the adoration that Elvis got, the love that Elvis got. Elvis had an outpouring of love from the whole world. She wanted some of that. She wanted to be on TV. She wanted to be in the movies, be a model, be in the tabloids, be in the magazines, be on the news. She wanted what Elvis had, but she didn't have his talent. She also liked men. This is what people don't understand. I'm just going to put some more water in my tea. You got to remember, guys, that Priscilla wasn't the only one that liked the opposite sex. Yes, Elvis liked the ladies, as people keep telling us and reminding us. But did you ever think, guys, that maybe it wasn't just Elvis liking the ladies. Maybe Priscilla liked the men. This is the bit that people forget. Elvis is blamed for everything. Elvis is blamed for everything. And this is when my Louis defending Elvis head kicks in. Why is Elvis blamed for everything? Oops. We're going to do this in 2 parts, guys. We're going to do this in 2 parts. I'm going to have the discussion, then we're going to talk about the book. Okay, we're going to introduce the book. This is my point, guys. Why is Elvis blamed for everything? Why? Priscilla has never admitted wrongdoing. Not really. You know, there's a couple of bits in the books, maybe a couple of the interviews in the 80s. I think she might admit to Mike Stone, the karate champion. Definitely not the dance instructor. But actually, in the new book, she says she loved dancing lessons, but we know that's when she was unfaithful. I think Priscilla relies on the fans, I won't even call them fans, the general public around the world, to believe every word she says, even now with the new book, Softly as I Leave You, just as she did in 1985 with the book Elvis and Me. The fans that don't do their research, that don't look beneath the surface, just literally go along with a storyline that Priscilla has been telling for 40 odd years. It's just a story that we all buy into based on what we're looking now on our screens. This iconic duo, Elvis and Priscilla, deeply in love in a perfect romance. She relies on that. Our minds are brainwashed into like, oh, if only they were so happy, but Elvis was unfaithful. He liked the ladies and he had a problem with drugs. Then he put on weight, got sick and died. She relies on this. So she can say anything she wants. She can talk about all the sweet stories of their love life, their romance, what they did together, you know, having beautiful Lisa Marie. That's part of the package. We all fell in love with, oh, you know, they had the beautiful baby, Lisa Marie. We all adored Lisa. We watched her grow up, didn't we? We grew up with her through the 70s and 80s. Some of you through the 60s. Yeah. You know, she was born, I think, February the 1st, 1968. We remember the baby. Then we remember the young girl. Many of us are a similar age to Lisa Marie, aren't we? Or a bit older. Did we know that Priscilla had been unfaithful with the dance instructor, Steve Peck, in 3 months after Lisa was born, when she was just a baby? We didn't know, did we? Even the Mike Stone affair, which happened 18 months later, I think it was in some of the magazines and tabloids. It's pretty humiliating for Elvis. But generally, oh, it's Elvis's fault because he didn't treat her right. He was unfaithful. So what do you expect? Nothing is blamed on Priscilla. Priscilla has literally got away with murder. I do think there was initially shock from the fans. How could you leave Elvis? You know, or they may have heard about Mike Stone. But eventually, as you know, people have got short memories. She's doing 2 or 3 interviews that millions watched. Eventually, the public buy into the poor victim Priscilla storyline, don't they? Oh, poor Priscilla. You know, oh, she's kept the Elvis name going. It's because of her Elvis is remembered. It's because of her the Living Museum was opened. She stopped Gracelands from being sold. It's much more complicated than that. I would never accept that she is the reason Gracelands wasn't sold. I think it's much more complicated. Same goes for the Living Museum idea. We know that there were plans afoot already to create the Living Museum. All the land in front where all the souvenir shops were was all going to be developed and bought up. Memphis City were heavily involved. Obviously, you had the banks. There was quite a few people. Morgan Maxfield, look him up. Morgan Maxfield, who died in a plane crash. Allegedly, Priscilla was engaged to him. You had Jack Sodden was his assistant. But a lot was going on. There's no way they were going to break up Elvis's home. It was never going to be broken into little pieces and sold off. That is a lie, which Priscilla has told again and again. But yes, there was a point where she got involved. Obviously, we know Vernon almost had no choice but to allow her to be in his will. He knew he was sick. He knew he didn't have long. He was between a rock and a hard place. Who was going to look out for Lisa Marie? It was Priscilla or nobody. And there was a debt that Priscilla had placed with her lawyers on Gracelands. So she was owed a lot of money. This was leverage for Priscilla. We don't know what happened with the conversations with Vernon when the decision was being made to allow Priscilla to be trustee or I get confused what they call it now, co-executor, whatever it is. Basically, owner, powerful owner, queen of Gracelands. Yeah, she became very powerful. She was a stunningly beautiful woman, so she was perfect as the front person to launch the Living Museum. I'm not, I don't doubt that how stunning she was, how the public adored her. Had this iconic image in their heads of she was Elvis's wife, that she probably helped really launch the museum. But let's face it, guys, the museum was going to be a massive success, whether Priscilla was around or not. I will never, ever say that Priscilla is the reason that Graceland Museum succeeded. No chance. I would say even if there was no Graceland, Elvis had done so much amazing work with his talent, with his looks, with his charm, his personality, just the way he was, the way he impacted the world, the way he transformed the world. His personality was like a blanket around the world. Everybody loved Elvis. So there's no way Priscilla is the reason it was successful. But okay, they went with the Priscilla as the front person. We've seen the video, her launching it on YouTube. Go and watch it. It works. Yeah. I don't think they were ever going to sell off Gracelands, ever. I don't think it was ever an option. Even when Priscilla said, oh, Elvis is remembered because of me, she even said it to Lisa, nah, Elvis is remembered because of Elvis and the fans. That's the reason. There's no other reason. His talent, his voice, his looks, his charm, his personality, his charisma, everything. That's why Elvis is remembered. Yeah? So Priscilla plays a game. If I portray myself as a victim, if I act as if everything went wrong for me and I had to escape to find myself, it just worked for her. She could sell millions of books saying it. She could do very well paid interviews around the world through the 80s, winning everyone over. Yeah, winning everyone's heart. Many of us Elvis fans were completely convinced that poor old Priscilla had done nothing wrong. She was a victim. And I think it stayed that way for a long time, 20, maybe 30 years. Eventually, the fans start thinking, something doesn't feel right with Priscilla. She may have tricked us, conned us, there may be more to it. Maybe she wanted to leave Elvis. Maybe she was craving fame, men, money, TV, movies. Get it? Books, documentaries, biographies. Or maybe Priscilla wanted to be Elvis. Maybe she was jealous of Elvis. Maybe she just really fancied other men like Mike Stone, the karate champion. Maybe Priscilla secretly, it was all about her. So then we start seeing her treatment of Lisa, the way that when Elvis died, she was sent off to summer camp. Then eventually later we get the Scientology stuff. The public start to go, oh, actually, it was all about Priscilla wanting everything for her, not caring about Elvis, trampling all over Elvis, trampling all over poor Lisa Marie. And she's got away with it, never challenged, never disagreed with. 100% Elvis not being around made it very easy for her. As soon as she became very, very powerful at Gracelands, yeah, making all the big decisions, people eating out of her hand. If you wanted anything to do with Gracelands, you had to kiss Priscilla's ass. This is fact, guys. When Elvis Presley Enterprises was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, if you wanted any of the cash concerning Priscilla, Graceland's EPE, anything to do with Elvis, it went through Priscilla. So you had to kiss her ass. So some of the people, even people that were probably upset with Priscilla, that knew the truth, still had to kiss her ass. Honestly, guys, the people that were closest to Priscilla after Elvis died, I question it. I say that there was money involved. I'm not going to say names. I say some of the most well-known names that kissed Priscilla's ass did it for money. Did it because they wanted money to pay the bills. They had bills to pay. They wanted the fame, the fortune, the success of being part of Elvis's life. Yeah? So it isn't just Priscilla that has betrayed Elvis. It's other people as well. Some of them very close to him for money, but they sort of had no choice, because if they couldn't do what they wanted to do concerning Elvis without Priscilla's permission, then they're going to kiss her ass. They didn't know that the public eventually was going to wise up to Priscilla. They didn't know. But remember, Priscilla, when Vernon died, she changed everything. When the Living Museum was opened, she changed everything. She recreated everything to suit herself, even redecorating parts of Gracelands. Yeah, rubbing out parts of history. Seriously, rubbing out all the girlfriends, recreating the world she was in when she lived with Elvis. And the public fell for it. No one said anything. It's only really now, they just recreated the Red Room, haven't they? It's only now the public are realizing, even with the Baz Luhrmann film, because they wanted Priscilla's, they wanted Priscilla behind the movie to guarantee its success. They do the storyline to please Priscilla. They don't mention the girlfriends, Linda or Ginger. She's literally got away with so much. Priscilla's got away with so much. Now the cracks started to show when, I think, the worst time when the cracks started to show is when Lisa died and Priscilla went against her her daughter's wishes to give her inheritance to the kids, to her own kids, to Priscilla's grandkids. That's when the crack shows. That's when the whole world is like, something's not right. See, for me, the crack should have shown when Elvis Presley Enterprises was sold off, 85% of it, when Gracelands was rented to EPE. That, to me, was a travesty because, yes, a team of people, including Priscilla, the banks, the other trustees, whatever you want to call it, co-executors, whatever you want to call it. Yes, they turned the EPE and Gracelands into this $100 million a year business. Yeah, even more. Yeah. But then it was just sold off, whoosh, gone, 85%, rented Gracelands. That to me should never have happened. That was 2005. Yeah. So the point I'm trying to say, guys, is that yes, Priscilla did have an involvement in help. Eventually, they couldn't stop her. But then she's also a big part of the reason, because I think the influence that Priscilla had over Lisa, even though, because we know Lisa was the owner. Yeah, everything was on behalf of Lisa. But I still think it was heavily influenced by Priscilla. Priscilla was pushing all the buttons, pulling all the strings. Yeah, I personally think Lisa was tricked into selling off 85% of her EPE, even though she was the owner. Because I keep getting the comments, oh, do you know that Lisa was the owner? Yeah, I do. But she listened to Priscilla. She trusted Priscilla. Get it, guys? So let's just play this little interview. So we've gone from everybody believing every single word of this book of lies, because I know this book is bullshit. This book, you walk away after reading this book thinking that Elvis is a bad guy and Priscilla has done nothing wrong. Nothing. She's so clever the way she words it. Even the unfaithfulness in the book, you let her go. You sort of brush it off. You sort of go, oh yeah, she was unfaithful, but look what she went through. Look what Elvis put her through. Elvis was a drug addict. You know, he was a violent, aggressive, bad-tempered man that was unfaithful, didn't listen to anyone. But all of it has been exaggerated and twisted. Even the throwing chair incident has now been proven that it was bullshit. In fact, many of the things in this book have been proven bullshit. And this book has only been out a matter of days, and already we're finding all the holes in this book. Lots of lies in this book. Lots of lies. And even now, I'll play this little clip here. A lot of the things that Priscilla is saying are lies. I would say her memory is really bad. So she is getting a lot of things wrong now. She's 80 years old. It's pretty hard to lie consistently for 50 years without being caught out. This book, I will say this, it's very early days. We're going to catch Priscilla out on her lies a lot in this book. I think this book, in the end, may shoot Priscilla in the foot. Let's see, it's early days. But there's a lot of lies coming out now, guys. Many, many things. Many different topics. She's exposing herself. I don't think she realizes it yet. So we at Defending Elvis we're going to start exposing these lies. Now, it's going to take a little while to go through them, to find them all out, to collate them, to bring them together, to expose her. But we're going to do it. Ginger Alden, she's done a massive post this last night on her Facebook page exposing Priscilla's lies. Ginger Alden is standing up to Priscilla. She's not going to allow Priscilla to walk over her and rub her out like she didn't exist. She's not going to allow Priscilla to trash her. Same goes for Donna Presley, Elvis's first cousin, Vernon's sister's daughter, Donna Presley, 75 years old. She's got an amazing brand new YouTube channel called Donna Presley Official. Please subscribe to it. She stands up to Priscilla. She makes a post just recently saying, actually, many of the things Priscilla is saying are not true. The way that Priscilla is trying to promote the book Softly As I Leave You by telling lies, twisting the truth. Donna Presley, Elvis's first cousin, ain't having it. She's not having it. And even this morning, I did post something about Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter. There's a possibility that she's not happy because Priscilla is now trashing Michael Jackson. We are gonna do some more videos about that. Yeah, we're gonna look into the lies that Priscilla is telling about Michael Jackson, just so she can sell a few more books and be on these shows around America, trashing many people, trashing. I think she's going to end up trashing quite a few people and upset quite a few people. But she's going to have a surprise this time because a lot of these people are standing up for themselves, including very close family members. They're not having it. Yeah. So she's going to have a tough ride. At the moment, she's running around these shows to push the book with a big smile on her face, laughing and giggling. She feels famous again. She's on top again. She's just released a book. She feels great. It's going to come back to her because we are all together are going to expose Priscilla and stand up to her lies. And this isn't about hate. I've already had 2 people try and say some horrible things on my Facebook page. We have a Facebook page called Defending Elvis. And they're like, oh, why are you being so horrible to Priscilla? I'm not being horrible to Priscilla. I'm exposing her wrongdoing. She's being horrible to Elvis, to Ginger. So Michael Jackson. Priscilla's the one that's putting all these digs in. She even has a horrible dig at poor Elvis Presley, laughing at him for phoning her when she was in bed with her boyfriend, who I think was Robert Kardashian. How embarrassing and degrading is that? She's there giggling away on these different shows. One of them was The View with Whoopi Goldberg, laughing her head off because Elvis phoned her when she was in bed with her boyfriend. She even says it, 80-year-old woman. I was in bed with my boyfriend. Elvis was so silly. He didn't know. How degrading, demoralizing for poor Elvis. Doesn't deserve it. He deserves better. So we're going to play this and we're going to do a part 2, guys. Okay, so I think you get the general thing I'm saying to you guys is I'm fed up of the brainwashing, the bullshit, and we are going to stand up and we're going to expose everything Priscilla does. We ain't backing down on this. This isn't 1985. Where the whole world were very gullible, almost stupid, and they fell for every word. Every interviewer did not challenge Priscilla, enjoyed trashing Elvis, enjoyed it. Many very well-known interviewers didn't have one care for poor Elvis, Elvis who couldn't defend himself, Elvis who couldn't disagree with her or challenge her, Elvis who was dead, so he could do nothing. And these interviewers around the world put the knife in and twisted it. Again and again and again. Elvis didn't deserve it. Such a horrible shame that Priscilla seemed to enjoy it as well. And then Priscilla went on to have 30 to 40 years of living like a Kennedy, like the royal family. This celebrity lifestyle that she had for 40 to 50 years, I would say, trashing Elvis for money so that she could live life like a member of the royal family. Elvis will be turning in his grave. So let's just listen to this. Let's see if we can catch out some more lies. Actually, do you know what? What we'll do, we'll listen to this in part 2 because we've been on for quite a while. Okay, guys? And then we will discuss the book Softly As I Leave You as well. I've just had it delivered. Okay, guys? So we're going to talk about the book as well. Okay, guys, I'm going to upload this now. I hope you understand where I'm coming. I don't hate these people. I don't hate Priscilla, but we must defend Elvis. This isn't about hate. This is about what's right. And it's not right that she's doing this. She's at the tip of the iceberg of trashing Elvis all over again. I'm not having it. We will defend Elvis. Me, Team Elvis, Elvis fans around the world. We are gonna stand up to Priscilla. Thanks, guys. Love you all. I'll post this now. I'll join you live on the comments, and then we'll do a part 2. Love you all.